Hi, I'm Ali Bakewell and I've adapted Luigi Pirandello's 6 Characters in Search of an Author for a performance on our YouTube channel. I'm interviewing some of the cast and crew about their experiences of working in this different format, and I have with me Jacky Tivers, who plays the role of Mother. The role of Mother, Jacky, is a very tricky one for any actor because she's an archetype. She represents maternal concern and has no other identity. What has helped you to flesh out this two-dimensional character?
Well, I think the first thing that has helped is to set the character in the historical context, understanding that the role of mother in the period depicted in the play is very different from the role of mother today. So we see the mother in the play as quite different in terms of her obsessions. Particularly, I see her as an obsessive character. She's especially obsessive about her male children, and that, of course, will relate very much to the position of women and men in society in the time that the play depicts. If we don't understand the historical differences, I think we lose a lot of the nuances of the play and of this particular character. I think also it's helped to think about her relationship with the other characters. In particular, her relationship with the stepdaughter, which is a very strange, rather tense relationship, understood by neither character very well, I think. But also her relationship with her sons and her daughters, and indeed with the father, and with other characters who don't actually appear. So although she is a one-dimensional archetypical character, she does have a particular way of presenting, which is historical and to some extent makes sense in that context. It doesn't make any sense to me in the context of today. Without understanding the difference of history, I think it's impossible to get inside the head of the character.
And I think that difference in time, in social mores, is part of the dramatic tension that we have in the play. Now, as well as the role of Mother, Jacky, you are also coordinating the box office for 6 Characters in Search of an Author. What have been the new challenges, or not, of organising box office for an online production?
Well, initially I thought that it might be quite difficult. I foresaw difficulties because I couldn't see how the website we always use, Ticket Source, would be able to cope with the fact that we weren't actually performing in a building, since normally when somebody books a ticket, they get allocated a particular seat for a particular performance in the theatre. In fact, when I decided to enter the details, I found that it was much more straightforward than I'd imagined. The Ticket Source, the site we use, doesn't charge for complimentary bookings and doesn't insist on seating people in non-existent seats. In fact, it seems to have adapted itself for online productions, expecting, I suppose, companies to do exactly what we're doing. The way it will work is that people will be notified when they book that the play is online, and that information will be given to them about how to access the performance on the day that they are doing so, and they will be contacted before the day to let them know how to access it. We have decided to only offer tickets to people who are booking online. Sometimes with the theatre, we do take bookings from people who telephone or write in, but given that the play requires the use of a computer to watch, it seems sensible to restrict, unfortunately, for some of our patrons who are very elderly and who don't normally access computers. I'm afraid they're cut out of this particular production. We hope they'll come back to later ones in the season in the theatre.
And another piece of good news is that this production is going to be offered free, although we would invite you to make a donation for one of the national theatre charities, and more information will become available for that. Whilst sadly some members of the public who have not got access to a computer will struggle to access it, we are increasing the accessibility of the production because we're hoping to have an audio described version as well as having captions to try and make it as inclusive as possible. So Jacky will be very pleased if you access our website and ticket source through our website in the usual way for all our regular patrons who are listening to this interview today. One final question, Jacky. There are many philosophical questions raised in the play on the difference between an actor and a character. What to you are the main differences?
I think that both actors and characters are shown in a very unreal way, and indeed that the philosophy of the play underlines the difference, or perhaps the similarity, between reality and unreality. That's really what the play's about, rather than about the story, the narrative of the play. And of course, some philosophers think that there's no such thing as reality anyway. So in a way, this is feeding into that sort of assumption. But looking at the difference between the two, I think that a character can only exist in the mind of the author who creates the character, and when that character is portrayed by an actor. Outside of that, the character has no reality. An actor, of course, is a real person in the present world, but assumes an unreal situation when they play a character. So there's a lot of unreality going on in this play. There is that difference, but I do think the play is great in making you really think about what reality is, and questioning your understanding of reality. And of course, that's particularly important when you're doing it online through Zoom, where in a sense everything is unreal.
And I think as well, we all assume different roles in different situations in our lives. There is one character only who is named in the play. And to find out who that is, you will have to join us on our YouTube channel on the 12th, 13th and 14th of November. So check out our website, book your tickets, and we'll see you there. Thank you.